Hello, my beautiful rainbow people. Welcome back to the Prophetic News, my Pot Smokers Bible channel program dedicated to the news and how it is a reflection of prophetic events. And I'm doing this, I haven't been doing my regular lineup of shows since the 1st of April because I've been doing a special series called Countdown to 420. But I wanted to do this episode because things have really started to escalate. And I wanted you guys to understand that that is the result of prophecy. You see, prophecy was enacted in the physical world, in a social government setting in 2015. It started on May 25th of that year when I established myself as the prophet Zion from the prophecy of Israel in the Old Testament. And by doing that event, knowingly, willfully, I started the domino effect that is the prophecy of Israel. The next domino to be set was Donald J. Trump running for the presidency. The prophecy of Israel begins with a passage which states that the God of Israel would the Watchers, as they are called, would place into power the basest of men, whose job it would be to undermine everything in America. Donald J. Trump was that president, and his ascension into the White House was a condemnation of America by the gray aliens, who are the gods of Israel. And actually, they are all of the ancient gods are gray. Every ancient god was gray or affiliated with the gray through the universal federation, we'll call it, for lack of a better word. So, once Donald Trump got into the White House, well, when he was elected, I was already serving my term in prison, as foretold by Jeremiah. And it was in the very week that I went to jail for the charge that put me in court, which I set in motion on purpose, that Ferguson happened, which was the beginnings of the modern Black Lives Matter movement, which was the third element of prophecy, the rise of the people of Zion, through the mechanism of police brutality, as described by the prophet Daniel. And now, Donald Trump has fallen, and his fall is great. Or I should say, Donald Trump is falling now as we speak, and his fall is being a great fall. And he's taken the GOP with him. And that has left the white supremacists, those base people that Donald J. Trump represented and brought out and gave a platform to, are now desperate. Because facts are facts. Democrats have won and will continue to win because of diversity. The GOP has become white supremacists, and they are falling, and they are taking America with them. The destruction of a great northern nation, which is brought about from the sides of the earth, being a melting pot that centers the events of prophecy in America. And it is the destruction of America, which we are seeing with all of the massive shootings that are happening. And they are going to continue to happen. And it is going to escalate. Events are headed towards Zion. And it cannot be stopped. Because it is a domino effect. I set the prophecy in motion. Donald Trump did his part. COVID-19 happened. George Floyd happened. Direct line of prophecy. The Black Lives Matter movement grabbed hold of righteousness overlaid on the consumption decree upon the face of the earth, COVID-19. And now that has brought us to this pivotal moment when America is on the verge of self-annihilation. We have two opposing factions that will not end in anything else but violence or revolution. We have got to separate the factions or violence will ensue. That's part of what my Camp Out for Freedom is about. That is prophecy too. That's what all of this is leading to. So the prophetic figures Zion, me, because I fulfilled everything that Zion has been said to fulfill. It's already been there, already done that. And I'm already doing what is my part. I'm telling you, I set the prophecy in motion, and it has followed in line like a set of dominoes. I set the dominoes up, and when Trump lost the White House, they all started to fall. Or when COVID hit, they all started to fall. Or it doesn't matter when they started to fall, but they're falling. America is on the verge of revolution, annihilation. Because we have the white supremacists, the money to lead, the corporations, business as usual, status quo. And we have an oppressed people who are being literally gunned down in the streets at every turn. And that is going to escalate because of George Floyd's death, which was one of the major dominoes that has fallen. It does not matter whether or not Sub-7, whatever, goes to prison or not. Because the white supremacists will be up in arms if he goes to prison. The police will be up in arms if he goes to prison. Because their monopoly on authority will have been toppled. They will no longer be able to run roughshod over the American citizenry. And they will retaliate at every opportunity. We have backed the police into a corner because they have backed us into a corner. And the white supremacists, when Trump falling, has been backed into a corner. And the government's backed into a corner. Corporations are in their corner. Everybody's in their corner. And somebody's going to come out fighting. So, it is at this pivotal moment when no matter where we go or what we do, we're fucked. That's when Zion arises. Because I am the one voice that is all-inclusive and that is backed by fact, authority. The one authority that is irrefutable when they land. Because I represent the great, the God of humanity, the aliens who created us by altering the DNA of Neanderthals with their genetic material, advancing the Neanderthal into an advanced form that we call human. And they are just waiting for this one event that was foretold in prophecy. And that is what I call the Camp Out for Freedom, which I'm going to be attempting for the first time in 2 days. Now, whether I succeed in this attempt or not doesn't really matter. What I'm trying to do, what I need to do, is 3 things. I need to create the controversy that is Zion, that drug users were created by the God of Israel to be their voice on earth through the foretold priesthood of Zion. That right there is fucking just. That is just. And we are to stage a mass exodus from America, gather together in one place in our tents. That's exactly what the prophecy says will happen. We will gather in our tents and we will hold a solemn assembly. We will pray telepathically to the gray aliens in the name of the ancient God of the earth, of the humanity. And we will pledge, promise, that if they come to help us win our freedom and establish a new nation, as foretold by the prophecy, that we in turn will allow them to enact universal law, allowing us to enter into the heavens, the universal federation of species, headed by a council of elders made up of 12 of the most ancient of species, who oversee billions of sentient life forms across the expanse of the known universe. Such a beautiful. And all we have to do to attain that is to pledge that we will follow the laws of that universal federation of species, that we will remake our society in their image, according to their law and their social order, which they have taught me. And by doing so, we will address every issue that faces humanity. And with their help and technology and resources, we will become the cornerstone of a new planet Earth that we're going to call Zion, because that's what they call it. And when we join them, then we get to be called Zion. And we are called Zion because that is the prophecy that was left, the name that was chosen for this planet long, long ago. So, everything that is happening now is going to continue to happen until this prophetic event, the Camp Out for Freedom. So may the Grey watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm. May they teach you right from wrong, and may you be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light, the unicorn way. Find your joy and pursue it. Make that your guild choice when we get to Camp Zion. And stay happy and high if you use drugs. You have every right and reason to, because you have been created by the Grey. and they're waiting for us to invite them to join us here on earth. So join me. My name is Aya. I love you way too much to ever say goodbye. So I'm going to say later now.